Is the setting for the 2019 Party Poker US Open. It's one of the greatest tournaments in the sport of 9-ball, attracting the best players on the planet, 256 in total. Those players started out in a double elimination stage. The field was reduced to 16, and those 16 are now battling for a place in the quarterfinals. The double elimination stage was played over 33 tables and saw the field divided into two sections, the winners and losers brackets. Joshua Filler was the first man into the quarterfinals. He'll face Francisco Sanchez Ruiz. The Philippines do have a man in the last 8. Jeffrey De Luna and Alex Pagulayan came through a tight match against Aloysius Yap. Liu Haitao takes on the winner from our last match, Chang Yulong. Coming next, the clash between Hsu Jui-An and Wang in the Party Poker US Open. Time then to meet the players for our next match.
I just want to enjoy this tournament because it's a so great tournament I have joined in my career, so I just try to do my best. Yeah.
In the opening rack, Hsu opened with a dry break. Wang failed to take advantage, allowing Hsu to step back up and take the opener. The second proved a straightforward affair. Hsu broke and ran the balls out to double his lead. The third produced a good result off the break, but a scratch off the 4 gave Wang his first opportunity. An inconclusive break in the 4th saw a bout of safety play that swung one way and then the other before Wang levelled the match. This is now the 5th. Commentary from Jim Weich and Carl Boyce.
Mr. Wang is breaking.
So at the moment, Jim, no one's had chances to run a 3 or 4 pack. The table's not been too kind at the moment, but things can change.
Yeah, and unless Wang can show us a better break with a little more power, I don't know whether he's going to put any together. Well, that looked better. Very unlucky. He's lost the cue ball, but he definitely got into that one a lot more than the last one. But again, it's power with control.
Clock, please.
You can see all that power is useless if you can't keep that white under control.
Yeah, that's where Shane Van Bonen in the break shot is phenomenal. Practices a lot on the break and he gets the power and the control. Shane's up next. I'm certain it will be a packed house for that match. People here want to see if he can break the record and win 6 US Opens and beat Earl the Pearl's 5. Both players tied on 5 US Opens. Jim, just to win 1 is no mean feat. To win 5 is inhuman.
I think it gets tougher every year. The players I've spoken to have cited this US Open as the toughest field they've ever seen put together. They've come from all over the globe and converged here in Las Vegas. 256 players started out. And it was 3 days of double elimination play, non-stop action for 14 hours each day. Whittled them down to the final 16.
It's an important rack, this. Goes without saying for Ryan. Last couple of racks he's kind of missed the boat, so it'd be nice for him just to settle the nerves back down and get back in front in this match. This is the key shot coming up, you feel. As long as he comes anywhere down left side of the table, you would think this rack is over.
you know, not to downplay what the great Earl Strickland did in achieving his 5 U.S. Open titles, but his last one was back in 2000. You know, almost 2 decades ago since he won the U.S. Open. Almost a, well, not almost, a totally different era to what the game is at now.
Jim, that last shot from Ryan is a bit
Extension,
concerning
please.
because I know he's on this 5 ball, but the way he hit it, he sort of stunned it with right spin. And as I said before, the spin doesn't take the same as a club table or a table that's been played on a lot. So even though he might get out, well, this is the problem, you see. He's not landed on the 5 correctly. The shot from the 4 to 5, you've got to play with loose hands and let the cue ball just bite off the cushion. It's a different game on the TV arena table. It was something I struggled with in the first ever Moscone Cup I played in. I was all over the show with the cue ball, and then on day 2, I realised you've got to hold the cue a lot lighter.
Well, that's another one that Ryan's going to feel that he's let slip away. And these can come back to haunt you, these racks. He had to play that with inside spin on the cue ball and had to play it with a little more pace than he did. Get the object ball to bite and check off that cushion to straighten it up off that bank shot. And again, he's all these negative thoughts that are probably in his head, he's got to get rid of them. Key to success in any sport really is living in the moment. Both players struggling big time with the speed of this TV table.
Yeah, and this is a real nasty shot on the 9 ball, this. Can't stress how thinner this shot is. Camera angle probably can't do it justice,
Extension,
but this
please.
is a thin one, cueing off the rail. Cue ball is tight, so this will need his full attention. And he will know the importance of this rack now to get momentum and really punish Ryan for his mistake.
Vital shot. And right into the heart of the corner pocket. So that's a big win for Wang Can. As you said, Carl, important to plant those seeds of doubt into his young opponent's mind.
In the 6th, Wang broke and ran the rack out to increase his lead. Momentum was clearly on his side as he repeated the break and run out in the 7th rack. He increases his lead to 3 in this race to 11 in the US Open from Vegas. Set as another rack to Wang fell apart with a scratch. Hsu picking up the pieces to claim another. This is now the 11th.
It's been quite a long match so far. Been playing 1 hour 30 minutes, 10 racks. He's pretty slow. There you see it again. No shot on the break. Dry break. It's going to be a push out.
Or possible jump. I mean, it's a total eclipse to the 1, no doubt about that. But if Wang can
Push
feels
out.
like attacking, well, he doesn't. He is going to push out. Well,
Mr. Hsu, it is your
he's
option.
pushed into the jump. He just wanted it a bit closer, I think.
Yeah, and I think he's pushed where there's a little bit of angle, so if he does get the shot back, he can play this jump and try and get the cue ball back up to the centre of the table for the 2 ball.
Yeah, I think if Ryan turns this back, it'll be simply based on the fact that he doesn't think there's any chance of getting position to the 2 from it.
But he's looking at the kick shot to get distance, so that's what he's playing. This is the type of shot where it's all about distance. Draw the cue ball off the bottom rail. Could go in behind the 9 ball. Oh, he's hit this all wrong, Jim, hasn't he? He needs... Well, he could... I can't believe how bad he's hit that shot. He's way off intended point of target on the 1 ball.
Yeah, has he been lucky where he's left the cue ball? I think Ryan is going to be cueing right over the 5, so delivering the cue straight here, imperative.
Well, he struck that well. Has to be said. Jacked up, fired the 1 ball in.
Shot making has not been in question from Ryan Hsu. But he's faced with a shot now where position is the key ingredient. And this is where he's been falling short. You can see the 3 over the bottom right corner. In an ideal world, he'd like to come right
Extension,
down that
please.
center line, but the speed that he plays this and maintaining that line are key. Now he needs to dodge the 9 here, and I think he may have. That's close. Well, I think it might just be okay.
Yeah, this table is really bouncy today. Because I was sure that was going to be close to the 9.
That's not his best shot. I mean, why he's stunned that and left it near the cushion. He's just making life a lot tougher.
Yeah, you might have to just roll this pink 4 and send the cue ball towards top end of the table just so he's got a pot on the 5.
And he's turned it right over to Wang Can. Too many mistakes. He started the match out, he looked very confident, brisk around the table. Now he looks anything but.
Yes, at this level, if you want to win the US Open 9-ball championships, you cannot be making these mistakes. I'm just wondering if SVB and Wu Cha-Ching are in the practice room watching it, taking a little glance over at the TV, wondering, wow, if we can win our next match, we've practically got 1 foot in the semi-finals, because We've not seen much from these two that would threaten the likes of Wu and SVB. This is what the tough thing of our game is. You could play Ryan Hsu out in the 33 table setup and he probably wouldn't make one mistake. Put him in the arena and he's all over the show.
Extension, please.
He couldn't have asked for more chances, young Ryan. But Wang can, looking to be the guy that laughs last. And he certainly has taken advantage. But it is amazing how the cue ball is traveling on this table. Both players seem to be struggling with it, but it's a 7-4 lead.
Rack number 12, the current score is 7-4. Mr. Wang. Mr. Wang is breaking.
Now one of the better breaks from Wang Can here. Willing everything to stop. Best chance Wang Can has had following the break. Didn't really want to be straight on this 4. Doesn't look like he's got much angle to play with here.
Yeah, it's important he gets on the right side of the 5. Just give you an indication. Point in the cue.
Long bridge. Just pinch that pocket slightly and kind of a stun draw to get that cue ball near the 5.
Excuse me, sir.
Well, he's going to have to force this with A lot of top spin. Get the cue ball back down for the 9-2.
Yeah, there's a bit of distance in this 8-ball. It's important to make sure you pot this.
Extension, please.
I'm wondering if what it feels like is a bouncy table today. He's going to be playing on his mind. He's not landed great on this 9. It's what we call the 50-yard line, and the difference, Jim, between winning this rack and losing it is a big swing, isn't it? Because 7-5 over 8-4 for your mindset is huge.
8-4 is a very tidy lead. We actually saw that lead overhauled yesterday. Alex Pagulayan against Aloysius Yap. Oh, anxious moments, and where is the white? Once again, he's thanking the stars, but it's a tidy 8-4 lead to Wang Can.
Welcome back to the 2019 US Open, and here in Vegas, a fascinating match between Hsu Jui-An and Wang Can. Mistakes have seen the momentum swing back and forth, but throughout, Wang has held on to his lead. This is now the 13th rack. Commentary from Carl Boyce and Jim Weich.
An 8-4 advantage. It's been far from convincing. But having said that, if it gets him into the next round, I doubt he could care less. And no real shot on the 2 here. So left-handed and a safety.
Yeah, just sending cue ball up top of table. As you can see, there's a wall of 3 balls there, so big target. It's been that type of match, Jim, where the winner will just kind of be happy to forget about it and just be happy he's through to the quarterfinals and use this match as experience and move forward.
Well, kicking again. Hasn't favored Ryan Hsu. And that storyline hasn't changed.
Legal contact.
And
Hold
at
the
this
clock,
level,
please.
Carl, especially with the 2 so near that cushion, you can't miss kicking the shot.
Start the clock, please.
No, that's correct, Jim. Ball in hand at this level.
Legal contact. Hold the clock, please.
What's more is he missed it by some margin.
As you can see, the red 3, he's tied up, doesn't go in any pocket, so he's going to give Wang Can something to think about.
There's your red 3. That's the problem ball. So if he could generate a little bit of cue power left-handed, he could
Extension,
line
please.
this up and try and draw into those. And obviously he's given himself more distance. So the left-handed option. Well, he's going to have another look at it. Is he or no? No. He's got me guessing now what he's doing.
Yeah, it's a tricky little spot, isn't it? I'll tell you one thing you don't often see. We're playing 3 foul rule, but at this level, you don't really see it. Did he play to leave himself a bank on the 3?
Yeah, he's just going to try and use the 8 to keep the 3 there, bring the cue ball over to the other side and use the 9 and the 4 to try and snooker Ryan. And I don't believe he's left a gap between them. Tough to tell. Or maybe there is space between the 4 and the 9.
Yeah, it all depends on what part of the 3 you can see. That will determine the type of shot he can play. Can he get into the rail first and kick this 3 ball? Or is he just going to try and spin off the left side and get the cue ball back in a position where it is?
Foul, illegal contact.
Well,
Mr. Hsu, you're on 2.
story of the match, Jim.
Hold the
The
clock,
young
please.
23-year-old from Taiwan, Ryan Hsu, has made many mistakes in this
Start
match.
the clock, please.
Yeah, you know that he can play. We've seen glimpses of it. But it's got to be a freewheeling style. That's what would favor him. Because the way that this match has been, it's been like a body punching match where it's really not had any flow. You've had to grind it out, think your way around the table, and that sort of play. The tactics of that type of play just didn't favor Ryan at all. Still got a little time to put things right, but it's a big hole he's going to have to dig out of.
Yeah, it's been a bit of a sluggish match. Approaching the 2-hour mark for 12 racks. Tells its own story. But he's moving closer to the number 11. This will put him 9-4 up. Ryan Hsu made a little bit of a comeback, didn't he? Got to back to 1 behind, was it 5-4 or 5-3, and let Wang can off, so it's been a horror match for the young kid. You feel it's a little too late for a comeback, but you never know. We've seen a couple of big comebacks so far. One from your buddy Jim, the Lion, Alex Pagulayan. The most exciting match so far in the last 16.
Another tricky 9 for Wang Can. He's left himself a number of shots like that. He hasn't failed yet. And he's 9-4 in front.
Rack number 14. The current score is 9-4. Mr. Wang, and Mr. Wang is breaking.
Well, it has to be said, that's the best break we've seen from Wang Can.
Yeah, we've not seen many easy layouts, but this certainly is very favourable to get Wang Can on the hill. This is just a case of cue ball control. There's every ball's in the open, as you can see. Just making sure you land on the right side of each ball. Not played his A game himself, has he, Jim? There you see, lands a little bit short on the first shot.
No, he really hasn't. But he hasn't needed to. So he can regroup. I think you said it best, Carl. Whoever wins this match will take the win. Won't take a lot more out of it.
So he's playing this long down into the right bottom pocket. But the poor positional shot to get on the 4 has caused problems, because at the start of this rack he would have wanted to play the 5 in left centre.
It's a very thin cut into the right side pocket as we look now. And it goes without saying that
Extension, please.
position would make the shot very tricky. So he's looking at another option here.
I think he's playing it past the 8 with loads of spin. Lovely shot this. This is what Wang can do on the circuit. If you get drawn out to play Wang Can in the first or second round, you know you've got a tough match. We've not seen the best of him yet, but he will grow in confidence, that's for sure.
Got to be honest, Carl, the way that he approached that, I didn't even think it went, because he was shaking his head. I mean, he did have the shot, so he's seeing more the negative value than the fact that he's still there.
Yeah, the most important thing, Jim, is you win the match. Do you really care how you win, as long as you win?
Successfully completes a rare break and run out. Wang Ken arrives to the hill, 10-4, and will break for the last time in the match. Yeah, Wang Ken, it's been more a case of poor position when he has failed, not so much missing the pot.
Cue ball's close to the side.
Real
Hold the
close.
clock, please.
Is there a 2-9 combo? Looks very close. This could be a quick rack.
Start the clock, please.
We could be about to see the fastest rack of the match.
Yeah, you just did. 10-5. I have no doubt that Ryan Hsu has run 6 racks on the spin before. But if he could do it now, they'd be talking about it for a long time to come.
Welcome back to Las Vegas and the clash between Hsu Jui-An and Wang Can. The man from China holds the advantage and is now just 1 rack away from a place in the quarterfinals. This is now the 16th rack.
Well, at first I thought the cue ball were going to hold up and maybe set up for another 2-9 combo, but it hasn't. So another rack in this match where the player who's breaking has not really had an open shot. Sometimes it happens. You would think he's just going to chip off this blue 2, send it towards the 8 and get cue ball up top end of table.
Well, he's left a clear path to the 2. Now, Wang Ken does have a 10-5 advantage, and depending how he wants to use this, there is a possibility here of a billiard, from the 2 to the 5.
Yeah, he's certainly having a look at that, isn't he?
Also the combination,
Extension, please.
if he sees that as presenting more value. Well, opted for the combo and just about fluked the 2. Again, I think the score line dictated that aggressive option, knowing he had that cushion.
Yeah, and I tell you what, if you can just pinch this rack and just creep that bit closer. Wang Can's not played fantastic in this match, has he? So he will feel the pressure.
Six passes to the top right and top left. So just want to ensure to leave a nice angle in making this 4. To leave himself on the 5 and a clear path to the 6.
Lost the cue ball a little bit, hasn't he? So he's going to have to put one of them big stroke shots on to get position on this 6.
And once again, position not ideal.
Yeah, when you keep trying to pull the big shots out time after time, you're going to make mistakes, and we've seen this before.
Now, he's going to be doing some traveling yet again. It's a pretty good effort. I mean, the speed of the table helped him. And it's going to have to come to his aid one more time.
You know, I'm wondering if he can play this shot with loads of drag. So aiming low on the cue ball. Hit this shot fairly firm, but it's a kind of a jabby type cue action shot.
Extension,
so the cue
please.
ball slows right down before it gets to the 7.
Yeah, the cushions have been so receptive today, though, Carl. Well, he might be trying to kill this. No, again, he's using the speedy rails, and they really are moving. How about that shot? One of the better shots he's played in the match. He's played a few.
Yeah, he's certainly got a decent game. As Ryan Hsu, just lacking a bit in the experience department. But he's still in this match at 10-6. Just keep the pressure on, that's all you can do. Rack at a time, ball at a time. The old cliche. Needs to be careful with the cue ball here though. It will be moving.
No danger. Cue ball down the middle of the table. 10-6 now in this race to 11. That's the target. Wang Ken just one rack away from it. And Ryan Hsu on the comeback trail.
Rack 17. Current score is 10-6, Mr. Wang. Mr. Hsu is breaking.
17 of a scheduled 21. Ryan looking to stay alive. One of his better breaks of the match. It's just off angle. He's got a shot at the 1, but just the wrong side of it to get down to the 2. And the 2 doesn't look like it's available to the corner.
Yeah, 9 ball's tracked towards that corner pocket a few times now. Often can do that if there's a little gap underneath it. So John Lehman. Oh, and it's another mistake. You're kind of just waiting for it. Could have been worse though, Jim.
Yeah, I offered his hand to apologize to Wang Can. Just applying side spin to that cue ball increased the degree of difficulty to the pot. So much so that it went astray. But a very simple kick here really for Wang Can.
Extension, please.
This is more about controlling it than actually hitting it.
So Ryan Hsu misses the first chance in this rack. He's going to get another one. Can he sneak this cue ball back down table in a similar position for a 2-9 combo? Difficult shot if that's what he's playing. Possible 2-8 combo. This will tell us a story. So he's played that. Cue ball might end up behind the 8 here, and it has done. Hard to judge the pace on that type of shot.
Yeah, the biggest jump shot that Ryan's going to play to the match. He's facing right now. Well,
Foul, no contact.
I
Hold the
wonder
clock, please.
if Wang Can might look at the 2-9 combination here.
Start the clock, please.
Yes, he is. So a chance to win the match right here. The 2-9 to move into the quarterfinals.
Yes, Jim. If anyone can win, Wang can.
Well, the handshake, and Ryan started out well, but just couldn't compete in the end. Too many unforced errors. Wang Can through to the quarterfinals, where he will play the winner of our next match, Shane Van Boening and Wu Cha-Ting.
Wang Can claims his place in the last 8 of the US Open. Who will he play? Wu Cha-Ting or the legendary Shane Van Boening? That's our next match in the Party Poker US Open of 2019.